Good day, everybody. Here we're reading through Job, Job 17 to 20. I'm starting to lose my place already. It's only the beginning of the year. Job 17 to 20. And here we're finding Job in a really bad situation. We can see it's getting worse for him in his thinking because he's lost hope. He's lost hope because of the wrong perception he had of how life works and how relationship with God works. And that's being corrected now. As he's going through this, there's correction that's coming in, and he feels lost and confused because it's just not working the way that he thought it would work. And this can be very difficult. And right here, this is where we can take our warning from here. We see him throwing accusations at God because of his lostness. He's just all over the place, and just constantly the accusation, God, if you were only human, and I could present my case to you, you would see that I'm innocent. We know none of us are innocent, but as far as Job is concerned, he's done everything like he was supposed to do it, but yet he's in this situation because his perspective was that if you do good, you're rewarded with good, and if you do bad, you're punished with bad. And there's a lot of people who hold on to that today. And when you have that kind of perspective, and it gets, and then you run into the mystery of God, you run into who He is. It can be a very confusing and lostness that is about it, and we have to. We have to square this off. What we think about God is about the most important thing in our entire life. How we perceive Him, what we think about Him. This really matters because it forms everything. It forms how we're going to resolve problems in our life. It's going to be how we deal with relationships, how we think about ourselves, how we deal with when we blow it, when we rebel, when we make mistakes. How are we going to address that? And it all really comes out of this foundation of how we perceive God, what we think of God. Now, it shouldn't be much of a perception because it's clear. All we have to do is look at what He says about Himself. All we have to do is look at what He's done for us through Jesus Christ. All we have to do is look at how He is always with us, and that He never leaves us, that He is our provider and our protector, and that He loves us, and that the world is filled with pitfalls and storms and all kinds of stuff. It's a dangerous place for us to live, really. It's filled with stresses and all kinds of things, and in it all, He just keeps speaking peace over us and speaking joy over us, and He's for us, and He's not against us, and it's all these things that we have to keep remembering and remembering and remembering. And He never promised that we wouldn't face difficulties. Jesus made it clear that we would face difficulties, but He said that we would overcome those. He told us not to fear because He's overcome the world. He's overcome the enemy. He's overcome all these things, and we stand as champions on His team. And so He will see us through these things. We won't get lost in the storms, that He will be with us in the storms. And there are storms that He wants us to walk through because we get strengthened and encouraged and corrected, and things get straightened out in those storms. Perspectives are corrected, just as what was happening with Job here. And more of His heart is revealed to us. More is revealed to us about our Father in the storms of life than they are on the beaches of paradise. It really is. And so this is a big thing. We've got to straighten this out. We've got to get a right perspective, and there's nothing wrong with prosperity, as there's nothing wrong with needs. Whether we have a lot or we have a little, it's the same relationship and it's the same mission. And And Paul says that he's learned to do all things. It's through Christ who loves us. He is our resource. It's about relationship. It's always about relationship. And that's the thing, is that we as human beings, our values are skewed because our values are according to wealth. It's according to, we're labeled with whether you're rich or whether you're poor, whether you're middle class. We have this value system that's based on that. We want we want the nice things in life. We want these things. And Jesus came in and said, it's not about that, guys. It's about dad loving you and you loving dad and you loving your neighbor. It's about relationships. It's about righteousness in relationships. It's about doing relationships right. And he says, it's great that you get blessed by people that you bless, but it's even more when you bless people who can't bless you back, because you're laying up treasures in heaven. There's just an entire different value system that is in place. And we don't get to cut out people from our lives. That's not what we're every person is an opportunity for the kingdom of God to advance. Every person in our life. It's not about us. We're not here to make our life better. We're here to see the kingdom of God advance, and that advances with each individual person that we encounter, and we get to plant seeds and convey Christ and set the example and show love and mercy and tenderness and compassion and all those things that we've received. Yeah, so how you perceive God, whether you believe what he says about himself, this is what's going to shape your life. This is what's going to govern your days. This is what's going to help you get through the storms. This is going to determine whether these things will make you or break you. Yeah. So I'm going to leave that with you. You guys have a blessed and wonderful day, and be engaged with people. Let's do what the Father wants. God bless.